What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be checking out a couple of revised models from Ketuo. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we have a couple of models on the table. First, we have the Ketuo Griffin and we have the Ketuo Triad. So I'm really excited to check these out. Yes, you've seen them before on the channel for a full review, but these are the updated liner lock versions, and you probably can see it a little bit better right here. You can see it move over and disengage and completely disappears and lays almost flush here with the liner lock version, so the button liner lock. Very different for these two particular models. Again, you got M390, you got a compound ground tanto, hollow behind the edge. You got a flat grind out on the tip, nice swedge here with a spoon. So all of that equates to really good cutting performance. I did test the original M390 version of this one, and cutting was very, very good. So I didn't feel it necessary to do that again with this particular model. They got a nice sharpening choil. Plunge grind ends a little late. They probably could clean that up and bring it in a little bit more, but that is a lot of sharpening life that you're going to have left. So past my fingernail is completely thin and flat behind the edge there, and it's up high enough that if you're using a guided sharpener, you should be able to avoid that pretty easily. So not a true complaint. Ketuo's thumb studs are really nice. I'd like these a bunch. They kind of remind me of my bug out. Now the detent on this is very, very stout. Like, I am legit struggling here to get that front flipper to go. If this were my knife, I'd probably take it apart and go ahead and detune it a little bit, because it's very strong for the reverse flick, even stronger for that thumb flick, and just so potent for that front flipper. It is very, very potent. It almost hurts if you like to fidget. That could be something that you would want to consider doing. Again, just taking it apart, bringing the lock bar over some past this way to get it to reduce the amount of tension that it has on there. The knife is nice and centered. You got a really nice titanium pocket clip on here. You got a 3/4 length geared back spacer with integrated lanyard, and it is left-hand friendly. And I will say, left-handed, it is very nice and stout. So if you like a stout detent, this one is coming in extremely stout. I can't even, ouch, that hurt a little bit. I can't even get it left-handed. I am a little bit more right-hand dominant. I'm like ripping skin off now. So I would probably just detune that one a little bit on this one, but otherwise, very nice. Almost easier to operate. Ooh, I just noticed something there. I think I was on the button. Yeah, and I slide up on the button as I flick it. So as I'm flicking it, I'm kind of pushing on the button and it's disengaging it. So just be careful with that. I was going to say almost easier. It is stout, guys. I'm skidding off of it, but it is sharp enough to where you shouldn't need to do that. So this particular example, because it could just be this example, is very, very tight. I just realized that the designer's logo here, or is that the Ketuo logo? They did it in the carbon fiber, super subtle. Yeah, because I think that's the designer logo there. And there you go, Triad M390 on there. I really like this. This is a nice size for daily carry. I think it's a very competitive price, similar to what you would see from like Vostede and what you would see from Kaiser. Good jimping back here. Not super sharp. I honestly would not complain if this was a little bit sharper, and that might actually help with my problem with the skidding off. Immediate disengagement. It is very easy to operate and manipulate that. I also like the little attention to details here. So this little pivot collar here, or this pivot bolt, having that triple triangle here, it looks like a triad. So very cool, very good details. Ketuo written on here again. I think it was it this one. No, this one doesn't have anything written on the other side. And look how far over they come with that backspacer. They probably could, nah, because it comes down too low. They would have to drop the tip a little bit more. They would have to drop the tip down more in order to bring it out and move that backspacer over. Not that there's anything wrong with the handle to blade ratio. It looks fine to me, especially considering I have a pair of 3 and I'm comfortable with that. But all in all, you know, it still remains a solid knife, and I think that the button-operated liner lock is definitely an improvement with as far as how it feels with the detent and then the strength behind it. So good upgrade on the Triad. Let's jump over to the Griffin. The Griffin might be my favorite out of the two. I like this a lot. I mean, I don't want you to I don't want you to take away that I don't like the Triad, but I really, really like the Griffin because it's so different. That is stout. So different. You know, it doesn't have as probably of a slicey blade here, but it is still pretty slicey. They get it really daggone thin behind that edge, and it remains thin all the way until about the halfway point of the knife. So it is definitely going to feel like a slicer. This one here is going to be a little bit better for tabletop cutting. You got a nice belly here, so it's going to really be good for slicing, tabletop cutting, sorry. And then you got a nice acute tip here, very comfortable pinch grip. You're going to be able to do detailed work and trace work and things like that very easily with this one. Now you do have the Tonto on here, so you can use the Tonto tip for that for sure. I just think it's really interesting because this one's so different. Now, the other thing to pay close attention to here is you do have the Triad pivot, and then you got a flathead here. You got a flathead hardware piece here, and then T6 is here. So you're going to need multiple pieces of multiple tools for this hardware here in order to take it apart. So that is a little bit of a complaint. I wish they would just do Torx like everyone else. It would just make it easy. Even like what they have on their other model here on the table is that it's a Torx. Now this may come with a tool. I don't see it here. Maybe Kevin hung on to it to disassemble that, but if not, you're going to need to make sure that you got something that is going to fit this very well so that you're not scratching it up with a flathead that's not the right size, or you're going to need to use caution, or you could just put some painter's tape on your Phillips head, and that should help prevent scratching while also still allowing you to get grip. Really good jimping here. It's coated, so it might be a little hard to see that, but that's really nice jimping. You're able to easily get up here, and it just pops, absolutely flies. Good jimping here, but you got to make sure that you kind of land a little bit on the knife and pull it down. So you're actually going to be like a little bit past the immediate fingertip. So I'll show you again where I'm kind of hitting on there. So you can see I'm not on the tip. I'm kind of over here and pulling it down like that, and I have found like just articulating the finger, just a little bit of a hook and a little bit of overlay, and I really don't fail, and I can really fire it. The most satisfying though is that reverse flick. It's really, really nice, really good, big, oversized engagement from that lock bar on the back of the knife. You can see it moves it over very nicely. I just think it feels good overall. Nice ergos, nothing really sharp happening here. I just like the style on this one. Is it my normal type of knife? No, I don't think I would go out just in the pictures from this one, but getting it in person and the little attention to details, how it feels in hand, the way that it's performed, I really like this one. Ketuo is definitely a brand that has my attention. I like what they're doing. I like the fact that they're so quick to pivot to these button actuated liner locks. I think this is a big game changer for the two of these, and I really do like them. So if you are into either one of these particular models, I will go ahead and relink them on this video as it goes up so that you guys can go and check it out for yourself. Definite improvement for me. Again, my only gripe here is going to be that they are using like what almost looks like a flathead screw hardware that is a little bit different than what you see in the industry. I'd like to see them use what is used in the industry, just because it's easy to have that one set of tools to maintain all your knives. Now, if this is your only one, it's not that big of a deal. That's all I got to say about them. Let me know what you think about the Ketuo Triad and the Ketuo Griffin. I really did enjoy these the first time around. I thought they were very solid button locks, but now I think this is a total game changer. Having them be button actuated liner locks gives it a nice, snappy, traditional detent feel, keeps the blade locked in. Great action. They did a good job keeping the action nice and smooth, and all the materials and everything build quality wise feels very nice, very well executed. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did on your way out, feel free to hit that like. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you follow along. Special shout out to those channel members out there. I love you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.